What is up, you guys? My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first video of mine, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about 4 types of glute exercises that you should have in your weekly routine to maximize your glute gains. I'm going to show you video examples. I'm going to give a little bit of information on each of them, and hopefully you find this video helpful and it helps you grow that booty a little bit easier. So if you like content like this, where I break down different types of exercises and tips and tricks on how to build muscle, lose weight, all of that good stuff with a no BS approach, then this channel is for you. Make sure you subscribe before you go, like the video to let me know and the YouTube algorithm know that you guys want to see more videos like this. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So I quickly want to start off with a note about some of these exercises. So some of these exercises are what's called compound movements, and basically a compound movement, compound lift, is an exercise that involves more than one muscle group. So it's not going to be just glutes, and the goal shouldn't be to make it just glutes, because one, you can't, but also remember your body is connected, it is one thing, so sometimes multiple things have to work together to create an outcome, which is not always a bad thing. So just keep that in mind. If you feel some other body parts working along with these exercises, that is okay. It does not mean that it's not training the glutes, which is exactly what the first one is, which is the squat movement. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the squat. The squat is one of the most popular leg exercises there are, and for good reason. It is so good for you. It is so good for lower body strength, and of course, great for the glutes. So we have the barbell back squat. There's also squat machines, but also a leg press counts as this category. It is a squat motion. A squat is basically us standing up from a seated position, whether again it's on a leg press, a machine, or free weights. Now, squats are a heavy quad exercise. That's just the nature of the exercise. Your quads are being used. There is no way to take quads out and just make a squat glutes. You can make it more biased towards glutes, and that's going to look a little bit different for everybody. Squat is a compound lift, so it is going to involve both, and that goes for leg presses, the machine, all types of squat movements. But again, it is one of the most effective lower body exercise. It's a great glute exercise, and you should find a squat variation that works for you, that doesn't hurt your knees, that doesn't hurt your back if you have issues with that, because it's very difficult to get the benefits of a squat other than squatting. You know what I mean? Whether it's free weight, machines, or leg presses, all of those are great options. Pick whatever one is convenient for you. And a quick side note to these exercises, you don't and shouldn't do like 2 squats and 2 of the other ones that I'm going to talk about, and then 2 of the third one. You want to pick one of each, because you don't want your workout to be redundant. You don't want to do a bunch of stuff that all perform the same thing. You want to have a variety of movements so that we get the glutes as much as possible. Keep that in mind with the squats and every exercise that I talk about after that, that it's not about doing all of them in that category. It's picking one for that specific workout session, and then maybe the next workout session you can choose a different one in the same category, but you don't have to do all of these in one. I just wanted to clarify that. So that brings me to my second type of exercise to maximize your glute gains, and that is the hip extension movement. A hip extension movement is, as the name implies, extending our hips. Hip thrust, Romanians, hyperextensions. These exercises are specifically training the glutes for that movement. And the good thing about this exercise is that it doesn't involve as much quad pretty much at all. It's more glutes than quads. There are some hamstrings involved depending on which exercise you do, but this is more of the more glute focused exercises. But that doesn't mean the other ones don't count. It's just, again, we're trying to get the glutes from multiple different angles. So like I said, the hip extension is training that specific movement. The exercise examples that I provide here are just one version that you can use, or one way to do that exercise, but there's obviously countless ways that you can perform the hip thrust, countless ways you can do a Romanian. There's many different ways you can do hyperextensions. Just, again, picking whatever is convenient for you. You have access to the equipment you have, whatever it may be, is going to be the best way to go. But definitely make sure to have a hip extension movement in your workout session to maximize the amount of glutes that we get. The next type of exercise that I want to talk about are single leg workouts. You want to include single leg workouts because it's going to work on imbalances and training each side independently, but also it puts a lot of stress on one glute, and so it has to work a little bit harder. And they're just evil and they're awesome. They're also compound lifts because they are going to involve a lot of your quads, but again, it's still going to be a glute exercise. So I'm talking about our reverse lunges, our Bulgarian split squats, and also single leg presses. So technically these are all squat movements, but I specifically categorize them as single leg because I think it's important that we do not avoid these, that we don't skip them. Although they suck, although we want to, training that leg individually is going to be so beneficial for so many reasons. They're really challenging for good reason, and they're just a type of workout you're not going to get by doing both legs at the same time. Now, you do want to do both legs at the same time, but you also want to make sure that you're working out your legs one at a time. In this category, there's obviously many other types of single leg exercises. So again, this isn't a list that has all of them. I just wanted to provide a couple of examples in case you were wondering what exactly I'm talking about. But definitely don't skip your single leg work. You have to have at least one time a week where you do a single leg exercise. If you haven't done so already, you're going to see a big difference and you're going to be really glad you did. Not in the moment, like I said, because these suck, but you will be glad you did it. And then our last exercise for this video that I want to cover for glutes is doing our kickbacks, abduction work. So one of my favorite tools to use for this is cables, or if you have a machine for it, even better. And there is no one right way to do it, okay? There's many different ways, so there's going to take a little bit of trial and error, but these are your cable side kicks, abduction kicks, cable glute kickbacks. There's also kickback machines, and then there's also abduction machines, which are the ones that you sit down and basically spread your legs open. That's also an option as well. So this specifically trains abduction, is the legs separating from each other. That's going to be working out the glutes in a slightly different way than everything else. The cool thing about this exercise is it's very isolated. So this is one of the rare exercises for glutes that is just glutes. There is a couple other things that are working, but the majority of the stimulus is going to the glutes. So if you really want to build them, if you really want to get them stronger, it's a really good idea. In fact, I would say it's a must to include at least one time a week. It's a good idea to have one of these in your workout routines. And again, as with all of the exercises that I talked about, there's many different variations, many different ways to do it. These are some of the ones that I really like and I like to give to my clients, and I do myself. So definitely do your kickbacks and abduction work. And those are the main 4 categories of exercises. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this is not to be taken as you have to do all of these in 1 week or all of these in a session. My God, that would be crazy. But you want to just choose 1 or 2 of each category and make sure you're including them every week in your workout routine. As with any muscle, to grow our glutes, we need to be intense. We need to be maximizing our technique and our form, and we have to be consistent. We cannot be switching our workouts all of the time and expecting us to get very far with the workout. So make sure that you are planning your routine, you are being consistent with it, you pick one of each of the categories and you make sure you do it to the best of your ability. You are progressively getting heavier over time by either doing a little more weight or a little more reps, and that's about as complicated as it needs to be. Growing your glutes is like every other muscle. It takes a little bit of repetition, it takes some practice, it takes getting stronger, prioritizing your form and technique and all of those things. That pretty much completes today's video, you guys. I hope you found this helpful. I hope that you now have a couple more ideas on how to make your glute routine a little bit better. You can do this on one day alone, you can mix it in with your leg day, you can do upper body, you can do a full body routine with some of these. Whatever workout split you're currently doing, just fit these exercises whenever you do lower body days or when you do lower body exercises, and you'll be good to go. So thank you so much for watching. If you know somebody who's trying to up-level their glute game and they need some help on that, please feel free to send them this video. I would really appreciate your support in spreading the message. If you did find it helpful, like the video, please. Let me know you enjoy it by doing that. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.